Hey there, hockey fanatics! Welcome back to the channel where the ice is always fresh, the goals are always epic, and the fans, well, they're just a little bit crazy. Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane to revisit some of the wildest, loudest, and most jaw-dropping moments when NHL crowds completely lost their minds. We're talking about fans going bonkers, screaming, crying, maybe even a little bit of fainting. Who knows? So grab your foam finger, your lucky jersey, and a bowl of popcorn because we're about to count down the top moments where NHL crowds went absolutely wild. 2010 Stanley Cup Finals, Chicago Blackhawks. Win. All right, folks, let's kick things off with a moment that's permanently etched into the minds of Chicagoans. Picture this. It's 2010, and the Chicago Blackhawks are facing off against the Philadelphia Flyers in the Stanley Cup Finals. The Hawks haven't won the Cup in 49 years, and the tension is thicker than the ice. Suddenly, in overtime, Patrick Kane pulls off a magic trick, sneaking the puck past the goalie. But wait, no one, not even Kane, seems to know it went in. After a few confusing seconds, the goal is confirmed, and the United Center explodes like a New Year's Eve party on steroids. People are hugging strangers, crying tears of joy, and possibly even naming their firstborns after Kane. 2013 Eastern Conference Quarterfinals, Bruins' epic comeback. Next, we're heading to Boston for what can only be described as a miracle on ice. It's Game 7 of the 2013 Eastern Conference Quarterfinals, and the Bruins are down 4-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, if you're a Leafs fan, you might want to look away because things are about to get ugly. For you, the Bruins storm back, scoring 3 goals in the third period to tie it up, and then in overtime, they finish the job. The crowd at TD Garden is losing its collective mind, and you can practically feel the ghost of Bobby Orr fist-pumping from the rafters. Leafs fans, I'm sorry, but you might need some tissues for this one. 2011 Stanley Cup Finals, Vancouver Riots. Okay, so not all wild crowd reactions are a good thing. Sometimes they can get a little out of hand. Case in point, the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals in Vancouver. The Canucks lose Game 7 to the Boston Bruins, and let's just say the fans did not take it well. Instead of going home and crying into their poutine, they decided to turn the streets of Vancouver into a scene from a disaster movie. We're talking flipped cars, broken windows, and a lot of very angry people. It's a reminder that sometimes passion can get a little too fiery. 1994 Stanley Cup Finals, Rangers. Win. After 54 years. All right, let's take a trip back to the 90s when the New York Rangers finally broke a 54-year curse and won the Stanley Cup. Can you imagine waiting over half a century for a win? Some fans weren't even born the last time the Rangers had won. When the final horn sounded in Game 7 against the Vancouver Canucks, Madison Square Garden turned into a madhouse. Grown men were weeping, children were dancing, and somewhere, someone was probably popping the champagne they've been saving since the 1940s. 2014 to Western Conference Final, Kings vs. OT Thriller. Let's move on to a nail-biter from the 2014 Western Conference Finals. It's Game 7, and the Kings and Blackhawks are tied in overtime. The tension in Chicago's United Center is so thick you could cut it with a skate. Then, Alec Martinez of the Kings decides it's time to play hero. He blasts the puck into the net, and suddenly, the United Center goes dead silent, except for the sound of Kings fans back in LA losing their collective minds. The Blackhawks fans? Let's just say they were not having a good day. 2017 Nashville Predators, Stanley Cup Finals, home crowd. Now, if there's one thing we know about Nashville, it's that they know how to throw a party. And when the Predators made it to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2017, Smashville turned the volume up to 11. The Bridgestone Arena was so loud, you'd think they were trying to start an earthquake. The fans chanted, sang, and probably did a little bit of moonshining in the parking lot. But we're not judging. It was an atmosphere unlike anything you've ever seen in hockey. 2009 Winter Classic Brigade Me Finally, let's wrap things up with a little outdoor fun. The 2009 Winter Classic at Wrigley Field in Chicago was like a scene straight out of a hockey fan's dream. Over 40,000 fans packed the legendary baseball stadium to watch the Blackhawks face off against the Red Wings. The cold was biting, the ice was slick, and the atmosphere was absolutely electric. It was one of those moments where you could just feel the magic in the air. Or maybe that was just the frostbite. Either way, it was a game for the ages. And there you have it, folks. Moments when NHL fans took it to a whole new level of wildness. It's the highest of highs to the lowest of lows of these moments that prove hockey fans are some of the most passionate, dedicated, and, let's be honest, slightly crazy fans out there. If you had a blast watching, don't forget to slap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling us about your favorite wild moment in hockey. We also have other videos you should check out. Until next time, goodbye.